Okay, so once again we got to prop this lock open so we're able to insert the post into the collar. So we're going to just tilt this back, insert one of the sliders in here just so it holds that lock open, and then you can see there's no lock touching on the inside, so we can insert our post in. And like we did the other side, we'll take a piece of tape and tape open that secondary lock so that it's out of the way as well. Now, if you choose not to rent a material handling lift and you're doing this with an engine hoist or a cherry picker, then you're going to have to do the cross arm this direction, meaning you're laying it down on a set of blocks and then you're going to pick up the post and insert them in to that point. I want to make note, material handling lift is a much better way to go. A lot more secure and a lot less lifting for you. All right, so with the assistance of a helper, we're going to insert this in. And the thing about this, you got to go real careful because when you're sliding metal on metal, you can scratch these posts up. So we got to keep it level and insert it into its spot. Okay. Now what we're doing, my assistant's putting in 2 more of them sliders so that when we slide this in, it doesn't scratch the post up. And you only need 2 of them, 1 in each diagonal corner. Okay, now at this point we can pull out our stops for our locks so that when we stand this up, that goes all the way to the ground. All right, now that we've got this to where we've got our post in, I put my genie back underneath there, or you use the cherry picker and have a strap around it at this point, because you have to raise it up to pull those blocks that we had it setting on out of the way. So now at this point, 2 guys are going to get on the end of the post and we're just going to walk this up to where it stands up on the base plates. Bend down, use your legs. 1, 2, and 3, up we go. Just like so. And then, just like we did on the other one, we're going to raise this up to the 7th lock. So now that our genie's underneath there, we can just pick it up. All right, now we're at the point where we have the cross arms on, the 4 posts. We have the track, or we're going to start with our power track, the one with the cylinder in it. We're going to have our power unit positioned on the front left corner. So I've got the port coming out of that cylinder at that post. And so we're going to start with that post, raise it up, set it on the track, and then start putting the other 3 tracks on as we go out. There. You have some 3/4 inch bolts and a ramp clip, and we're going to put these in loosely. You'll use your 3/4 inch bolt with the flat washer on the bottom. Insert them into your ramp clip, like so, and then it'll go in here. And then you got to line up your holes. Just like so. Now on the side that's going to have the ramp, where you're going to put in the approach ramps, you want to put 1 washer just to give you a little more spacing between the cross arm and the ramp clip so that the ramp can insert in there without touching. That'll only be on the side of the ramps. Okay, and I'm just putting on the ramp clip just like we did the other side. This side I am not going to be driving on, that side will be driving on, so I don't need the space between the ramp clip and the cross arm. So it'll just be the bolt, the flat washer, the lock nut, and the lock washer and lock nut. Now at this time, it's easy to get the cable that's underneath this power cylinder out at this time. So I'm going to cut the straps that are underneath here holding all the cables together and pull it out on its appropriate place here, and I'll show you that real quick. Okay, so we're going to just cut these, and your cables are going to kind of fall out to the place where they need to be. And then right now, this one is the one that's going to come out of this hole and come up the pulley and go out. But before we put our rod in, it's much easier to get this out at this time. So I go ahead and pull these out. Take the nuts off. Okay, packed inside of the second crate, in between the tracks are your 2 long lock rods. You also had your power unit mount, and then the locking rods for the handle and T-bars are also included in that package. So just lay those aside for now. Okay, as you see, we was able to turn that track over, and now we have the slider rail for our jack trays on the inside to match this. So that was the bottom, it's turned up. Right now, we're going to pick this one up and insert it onto our cross rails. What we're going to do is take the end crates off, just like we did on the others, move them out of the way. Okay. Yep. Okay, now that we've got our package crates off, we're able to lift it up, set it onto the cross rail. An easy way to do that is just turn this sideways so where you can go clear up. And the same things we did a minute ago, put on our ramp clips, bolt, flat washer, into the set of holes. As you push on it, move your track, and it'll line right up to your holes. Lock washer, and then nut. Now, I went ahead and installed the other 2 tracks, just like we did the first 2 tracks on the cross rail. So now we have all 4 tracks onto the cross rails. The bolts are just put into them just loosely, and now we're ready to go across and tighten them up. But before you tighten them, one thing you want to do is you want to make sure the tracks are completely to the outside. So you'll come to the edge and give it a yank, and make sure the track is to the outer edge of the bolt, all the way around, and even on the inside to make it. Because if you put an aluminum deck insert in between, that gives you room for them to set down inside there. So I'll do that at this time. Okay, now we're ready to take and tighten these up. 1 1/16 socket on an impact and a wrench, and you'll want to tighten them all down good and tight. When I go to tighten these, I want to start on the 2 middle tracks. I'm going to tighten these up on these 2 tracks, go down there, tighten those 2 up, and then work my way to the outside. Now once I get the inside ones done, now I can work my way on the outside and tighten those up as well. Okay, now we've got them all tightened up. The ramp should be good and secure. Everything is solid at this point.